everybody. Welcome to Saturday Spotlight. This week we have the ever so talented Alina Loux with us. I am so excited for you to get to meet her. I actually got to meet her at an author signing at the beginning of January, and she's phenomenal. I can't wait. Hi, Alina. How are you?
Hi. Thanks for having me today.
My absolute pleasure. I'm so excited to have you here, like I said. So for those of you that don't know, Alina is an author, but she's also an illustrator. She has 2 children's books out that are just absolutely gorgeous. And she uses her talents to give back to her community. So, I mean, you can't get better than that, right? Alina, would you like to tell us a little bit about your books?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, so I do have two picture books out right now, and working on a 3rd one, so there will be more coming, which is exciting. But my first book is called The Toothbrush Circus, and The Toothbrush Circus, it's really just a silly book that is all about making toothbrushing fun. The general concept is that the toothbrush circus is needing someone to help brush the teeth of everyone in the circus so the circus can go on, and so then the child gets to be part of the book. And then my second book is quite a bit different, but this is a rhyming lullaby. It's called If You Were the Moon, My Love, and If You Were the Moon, My Love is a love declaration from a parent to a child. So if you were the moon, my love, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd build a ladder to the sky and climb way up to you. And If You Were the Moon, My Love is unique in that it actually is a lullaby. It has music that goes with it, and that music is in the back of the book. But it also is, I'll see if I can pull it up here, there's some sheet music in the back of the book that goes with the book, so you can sing it as well as read it. And there's actually a recorded version of the song, fully recorded and produced, that's available as well if you're more inclined to listen along or your child likes to listen to it while falling asleep or something like that.
I love that. And the recorded version, if I remember correctly, it's on Spotify, but is that right?
Yeah, you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much all the places that you would stream music, you can probably find it. So if you look for If You Were the Moon, My Love by Alina Loux on Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube Music or wherever, you'll find it there.
That's awesome. So how did you embark on this endeavor, right? I mean, because everyone says as an indie author, right, you wear so many hats. Mm-hmm. But you've taken that to the next step because in addition to all that, you're also illustrator, music composer, like you've added so much more onto your plate. How did you decide to go down this road?
Yeah, well, so I have always been just sort of like a creative juggernaut. I love to create things. And so it's something that gives me so much joy and that I always am seeking out. And I also am a true lover of picture books. I have been since I was a tiny kid. I think that my parents really instilled a love of books, and not just books, but beautiful books in me from a young age. And so I've always had this appreciation and kind of this desire to be an author. When I was a little kid, if you would have asked me at any point, what do you want to be when you grow up, I would have always said, it would fluctuate between I want to be an author or I want to be an artist. And so these are the things that I always have wanted to do, but I didn't necessarily have, I guess, the confidence in myself, because you're right, it is a lot. There's a lot to learn to do it well. There's so much to learn and to take on. And I sort of fell into this as a result of having my daughter, because my daughter was a voracious reader, and so she was reading, like, I'm talking 2 years old, reading like 30 books a day. The kid loved to read, and so we were just consuming so many picture books, which was heaven for me. I loved it, but it also meant that I was really starting to know and understand the art of picture books at such a deep level, because I was getting so much exposure to picture books. And so when I had the idea for the Toothbrush Circus, I kind of had this realization that it was my time. It just felt like my time because I was so engrossed in the art form already. And so I knew that it was time to make my dreams happen. Um, I was not sure. So again, I love to create, and I'm artistic, and so I was not sure if I could illustrate my book myself. I wanted to make sure it was up to standard. I did a lot of research and learning about sort of the unique art form of writing for picture books. There's a lot of things that you need to consider that's beyond just creating art. And in the end, I said, if I can't do this, if I'm not happy with the quality of what I'm putting out, I will stop, and I'm going to go the more traditional route of letting someone else illustrate my books. But once I started trying to illustrate it myself, I realized that it was something that I could do, and so I just kept doing it. The real amazing thing about being an author and an illustrator together is what you create is there's so much harmony between the sort of the words and the pictures in a way that is really unique. And so when I'm writing, I write very visually. Like I have so much color and like pictures in my head, and that comes out in my words, but then it also comes out in the illustrations, and it creates this sort of really harmonious final product, which is really fun to create.
And it really is a harmonious final project. I mean, your I haven't seen the Toothbrush Circus in person, but I was able to see that If You Were the Moon, My Love, and it's stunning, Alina. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I think harmonious is really the perfect adjective for that situation. And so not only are you, a jack of all trades, right? You're so talented in so many ways, but you're giving back to your community through all of these skills that you've obtained and these talents that you possess. I'd love for you to share with people about kind of what sparked you to do that, but then to just highlight everything you do. Because I think, especially as, a mom, you want to live in a community that's nice and supportive, but the best way to do that is to also feed that same need and that same drive, right? Like many hands make light work, and you're crushing it. So how did you get started? Like, how did you decide, okay, I have these two fantastic products, and now we're going to go out in the world with them?
Yeah, so I think a big part of it is just the way that the community has embraced me, and then I've said yes. So certainly, like, I have put a lot of effort into sort of my outreach into the community, but a lot of it has come to me, and it's me always eagerly saying yes, because I'm so excited to be involved in the community. It is really important to me. I think especially anytime as an author it's important, but especially as a picture book author, because you write picture books for a variety of different reasons, but a big part of it is for the kids. And so you want to be able to give back to your community and to the children in your community however you can. And so at least I certainly do. And so sometimes it's been opportunities coming to me. And then I find that when I have those opportunities and I say yes to them and I really throw myself into those opportunities, then things just sort of tend to snowball from there. Even a simple example is we met at an author event together in our community, and then here I am today with you, right? And so I find that saying yes to things, that's sort of like a silly thing, but saying yes tends to lead to other things, and you have more opportunities to be more involved in your community. So some examples of things that I've done, actually, let me follow sort of a thread, unravel an interesting thread of one event that led to us being here today together. So I did an event with a wonderful charity in Verona called Verona Area Needs network, they were doing a fundraiser where they basically did this this mother-daughter event on Mother's Day, where they did a giant tea party, and they had all these local, they called them celebrities, but local faces from the community who came and hosted tables at the tea party. And I was the speaker at that event. I was sort of like the featured speaker. And so that was right around when If You Were the Moon, My Love came out. And so it was an opportunity. I read the book to the whole crowd there. There were several hundred people there. And I talked about my book and sort of where the idea came from and things like that. It was a really great event, and so many people in the community there. And at that event, I met someone named Rye. Rye is the owner of Kismet Books in Verona, and Rye was like, I love your book. I'd love to carry your book. I don't think we carry your book. Can we get your book onto our shelves? I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. It'd be amazing. And so then my book ended up at Kismet Books. And then Kismet Books put on this author event where you were part of, because your book is also at Kismet Books, which, by the way, I love your book. I just finished reading it last week. I finished reading your first book, Legacy Academy. It's fantastic. So if everybody, I'm going to throw a plug right back at you because it's an amazing book. But anyways, I met you there at that author event, and then here we are doing this event. So you can sort of see how these things snowball, and there have been other offshoots from that original event as well, where I've had other ways to get involved in the community, and then the more people that you meet and you network with, the more community opportunities arise, and it's just a really beautiful thing.
You know, I think that's so true, and I think one thing that you highlighted without saying it is just being open to your surroundings too, right? Like, when someone says hi to you, to like be present, if that makes sense, you know, and acknowledge them and be willing to have a conversation, because maybe the event is super busy and, you know, you only have time to do what you're there for, but maybe the event is the opposite of super busy, and then you end up networking with other authors in your area for a couple hours, and you do get a chance to just learn about other people and their stories and what's going on in their lives, and if you guys fit together.
Yeah.
You know, because you never know when something might come up.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's amazing. And it's been one of my favorite parts about this journey has been just watching all of that unfold, and being able to get to explore all these other fun and incredible side things. I mean, another thing is that you and I have talked about a little bit is I teach now a class called Picture Books for Children at Madison College, and I love that. I've been teaching adults for a long time in my career, and so it's right up my alley, but now I get to do something with it that is, first of all, really a fun topic. Who doesn't want to spend 3 hours a week talking about picture books? It's just great. But also, I've got to see how impactful the class has been on the adults who take that class, because I get to walk them through their process of becoming authors themselves, and that's been really rewarding. So all of these things are just really special and sort of unexpected turn of events that this path has taken me down.
And, you know, being able to share a community with you, I think I can speak for a majority of people and say that our community is just so lucky to have you. I think that you add so much richness to the Madison and Verona area, and it's so awesome. You have such a good energy about you as a person, but you have so much heart that you put into the area that you live in, and I think that that's really, really special and really rare. So I hope you know that it's greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
I hate that it's time to start wrapping up, but we are getting close to our time limit here. What are some things coming up that you want to share with people, if there's events or news or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, first things first is I would say I have a project I'm working on that I'm really, really excited about. And by project, I mean book. And I'm not quite ready to share what it is yet, but it's going to be really special. And so I would love, if people are interested in my books and interested in my journey, would love if they would follow my socials, because that's a great way to keep up with what I'm doing. So my socials are Alina Writes Books. I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. And I'm really excited. I can't wait to share more about that project. And then I also mentioned that I teach that class, Picture Books for Children. It is at Madison College. And that runs on a schedule that's approximately equal to the semesters. And so if you're interested, I've been teaching it virtually, so the great thing is that you don't even have to be specific to Madison. And if you'd like to learn how to write and publish a picture book, then I would love to have you check out that class as well. Just check it out at Madison College.
I love that. Thank you so much for letting everyone know. And I will say one thing, that it was a conversation with another author, but we both agreed that Alina's books are great for, are if you have any like those baby showers where they say, oh, don't get a card, bring a book instead, and you don't want to be one of 15 people that bring the Hungry Caterpillar, Alina's books are absolutely perfect books for that type of scenario. We were, a fellow gentleman and I were lamenting over the fact that we didn't know of Alina's books when we had those situations in our lives of family members we've gone to, and there were many copies of The Hungry Caterpillar and Rainbow Fish, which were our chosen books. But if you go with Alina's, you won't have that. So just a thought, food for thought that I'm throwing out there. But yes, thank you so much for joining us. And for anyone else joining, thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you so much.